the most original talk radio station anywhere. We are LA Talk Radio at latalkradio.com.
You're listening to Question Reality. Question Reality with Priscilla Leona. Priscilla Leona. Only on LA Talk Radio.
Hi, welcome to Question Reality. I'm your host, Priscilla Leona, and we are coming to you live from Los Angeles, California. And our show is broadcast every Sunday from 5 p.m. to 5:50 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, if this is your first time tuning in, our show will help you to question your career reality. This show is for you if you were, are, or might be considering a career in the entertainment industry. Our guests will provide advice, tips, and resource information on how and what it takes to successfully pursue a career in show business. Our guests work in various professions of entertainment, so that means that we will definitely have someone on the show sooner or later from a career that you are interested. If you want to check out our past guests, read their bios, listen to their interview instantly, or download one of the shows, go to the LA Talk Radio website. That's latalkradio.com. And you click on the link at the top of the website that says Channel 1. Scroll down, look for the graphic of our show, Question Reality, and you click on the link. And this takes you directly to our archive page where you can view the list of our past guests. Our shows are also available for download on iTunes under the podcast section. Just type in Question Reality Radio in the search box, and there you go. From 2008 until present. If you want to find out about our future guest, you want to visit the official Question Reality website, and that has our list of guests. We're booked all the way until July. Fantastic, lovely. That website is questionrealityshow.com, questionrealityshow.com, and that has a little brief bio of the guest, their website if you want to check them out, and all the details that you'll need so you can just tune in and listen to them live and find out even more fantastic things about them. Now, we have a guest on the show today that we had before. She was very popular, and we got emails. Everybody loved her. She gave great advice. She's fantastic. She's lovely. She's incredible. Her name is Nancy Criss. She is a producer, a director, and an actor. She's also the president of Nandar Entertainment. So if you want to look that up while we are going into our advertisement phase, which is to tell you about these wonderful workshops that are available for actors. You want to check out the website at nandarentertainment.com. That's NANDARENTERTAINMENT, nandarentertainment.com. And we're going to talk to Nancy in just a couple minutes. But first, I want to tell you about the lovely and most necessary workshops if you are an actor. Now, the first one I want to tell you about is a free workshop. Yay, yay, yay. This Tuesday. Now, all of these workshops I'm going to be telling you about are for trulyacting.com, trulyacting.com, TRULY acting.com. And the email address is info@actorscreativeworkshop.com. Now, I'm not sure. I've been asked in emails why do they have a website? It's trulyacting.com, and then their email address is info@actorscreativeworkshop.com. And I actually am going to find that out because I just don't know. I'm assuming that maybe their original name was actorscreativeworkshop.com, and then they changed their website, but I don't know for sure, so I'll find out. All of the classes with them you can pay via PayPal, which is really convenient for a lot of people. So the first workshop, it is free, and it is this Tuesday, March 27th, from 6 to 7 p.m., and it is with the famous Jeffrey Brooks. Jeffrey Brooks is a manager and a producer, and he works with actors and to blend the business side of the industry, and you know I'm all about the business side of the industry, and he mixes that with the creativity of the acting. And so he coaches actors on character development, how to obtain representation, which is so important. I mean, these are the two things you need to be a successful actor, right? So rather than concentrating on one technique, Jeffrey teaches students to utilize all the disciplines and the tools at their disposal to become the actors that they want to be, which is what we all want. We all want to be what we can be and not join the Army. Okay, so that was not funny, but okay, I tried. Jeffrey Brooks. Now, most of the people in the business, you've heard this name, you know who he is, but just in case you haven't, he's coached actors to find success on shows like CSI Miami, Without a Trace, Heroes, Everybody Hates Chris, My Alibi, CSI New York, Mad TV, ER, Life, Zoe 101, ER, Two and a Half Men, Ghost Whisperer, X-List, Mentalist, Criminal Minds, Entourage, LAPD, Grey's Anatomy, Carly, Young and the Restless, General Hospital, Cold Case, and Numbers. And I could go on and on and on, but I got to have a cutoff point. And he's also worked to place actors with some of the biggest agencies in town. So this is a very, very important class, I would say, for it being a free workshop. So if you want to go this Tuesday, 6 to 7, go to trulyacting.com to find out more details, or you can email them. And the address should be right on the website. Our next class, again, at trulyacting.com, is Monday. It's going to be on 2 Mondays, March 26th, which is tomorrow, and then April 2nd. And this is the last chance to register for this. This is with casting director Susan Paley Abramson and Paul Weber. And everybody knows Paul Weber if you're in the business. And it's a 2-week workshop with Paul Weber. Now, Paul Weber, in case you don't know, Paul Weber was he was the executive head of television casting and also a feature film consultant for MGM Studios. And he really went between both mediums with ease. And for series television, Paul had wildly popular shows like Stargate, and then his Poltergeist for movies. I think Poltergeist, Dead Like Me, The Outer Limits. Gosh, there's so many, I can't think of everything. But these series and others, he got I think that he was responsible for 21 Primetime Emmy Award nominations. So he was part of that. So that's pretty big. And now for the big screen, I know that he also advised on numerous MGM features like the blockbuster James Bond franchise, Fame, Zookeeper with Kevin James. I love that. Hot Tub Machine, which was really weird, but I kind of liked it. Red Dawn. And his current projects include Ballula, which is starring Dakota Fanning and Ryan Philippe, The Unexpected with Paul Giamatti, and The Stupidest Angel, based on the best-selling novel by Christopher Moore. And the TV series projects that he's working on is the LA Complex, premiering this summer on the CW, as well as Spartacus, Vengeance, and Noir for Starz Network. So I would highly recommend this class. And you want to check that out again, trulyacting.com. And that is on tomorrow night, Monday the 26th, and then April 2nd. And then let's see, lastly, we have on Tuesday at 8 o'clock, March 27th, and Wednesday, March 28th at 8 o'clock. Now, this class is a little pricey. It's $100, but it's a 2-week workshop with Susan Paley Abramson. Cannot say her last name, and I apologize. Susan has been working in casting since 2003, and some of her credits include Entourage, How to Make It in America, Secretariat, Rambo, Rocky Balboa, Fantastic Four, et cetera, et cetera. You can check her out on IMDb. And that is for trulyacting.com, so you want to go there and get into these classes. You need classes. Get in front of the casting directors. That's how you get cast. Okay. All right. Now on to our lovely, lovely Nancy Criss. And again, Nancy Criss is Nandar Entertainment's co-founder and president. She is a woman. She is so lovely. She is a woman of many talents, and they're all emanating from entrepreneur. Am I drunk? Did I have too many cocktails? I feel like Nancy. I think I was partying at Nancy. Nancy is with us today, but she has been partying all day with her barbecue, and I feel like I'm the one that's drunk. I'm getting fumes from Nancy through the line here. Okay, she has has entrepreneurial spirit that energizes her ability to create opportunities from success in everything that she does. And by the age of 13, Nancy had begun her career in show business with a role in the TV series Petrocelli, and followed by reoccurring roles in the Paramount series Webster. And before long, she was appearing in a variety of TV and feature films and commercials and stage plays. Now, the last time when we talked to Nancy, she was her latest film was entitled Finding Mr. Right, and it was a romantic comedy starring Matthew Montgomery, David Moretti, and the very funny Jason Stewart, and it was receiving rave reviews. So we're going to find out what happened with that. And then also she was telling us about a project called, it was a thriller called Crimson Creek. So we are going to find out what happened to that, along with getting some little tidbits on how to make it in show business. So without further ado, Nancy, are you there?
I'm here. You're wonderful. Yes.
You can never hear that too
What
much,
an introductory.
right?
See, this is why you're my favorite radio show, just so you know.
Thank you so much. Well, last night, Nancy, I got to tell you about an opportunity that slipped right through my fingers. I got to tell you, you're going to be sick over it. I went to see a friend of mine, Jim Meskimen, who is just an incredible celebrity impersonator. I'm sure you saw him on YouTube. It's like a viral sensation. It's the guy who was doing all the different voices, the celebrity voices, while reciting Shakespeare. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's Marion Ross's son. Remember Marion Ross, the mother?
Oh, yeah.
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 The mother. Well, that's her son, Jim Meskimen. And we went to see him. He has a show, a recurring show called Jim Impressions. So we go there. It's a packed house. Two of my friends are running late, so there are two seats next to me, and the house person sits this lady and man right next to me. The woman is sitting right next to me, and I'm looking at her. And I'm thinking, where do I know her? But I'm talking to my friends, and then finally, these two seats become available, and I say to her, if you want, you can sit over there next to my husband because my friends are running late, and it was a better seating area. So I find out at the end of the show that this was the lady who is the voice of Bart Simpson, and I am dying. I said,
Oh, my gosh.
I couldn't believe it. And I'm talking up a storm to her, and I get her autograph, and we hug. Everything's just running smoothly, and I forget to ask her if she would be a guest on my radio show. Can you?
Oh.
I mean, who better?
Yes, you messed up, girl.
Who better to be to talk about voiceover acting than a woman who's been the voice of Bart Simpson for what? How long's that show been on?
Oh, my God. It's like the
30 years?
longest running television show out there.
I know, and she told me they just got picked up for 2 more years. And I said, oh, my God, I am a complete moron. I can't believe I let that opportunity slip through my hands. And now I am trying to think, what is the best way to go about getting her on my show? So that is my dilemma for the day. Have you ever had that happen to you where an opportunity was right in front of your face and you were just so excited about meeting the person you completely forgot to ask something that could have been beneficial for you? Is that ever happened to you?
Well, not that I didn't miss the opportunity, but I thought it probably wasn't appropriate. One of the years when I went to the Academy Awards, and you guess who was sitting next to me? Donald Trump.
Oh, what?
And I'm just like, I so want to ask, would you finance my next film? But I just thought, that's really not probably appropriate. But yeah, it's amazing. You never know who's sitting next to you. It's funny.
I know. Nancy Cartwright is the voice of Bart Simpson on The Simpsons, and I tell you, she is a lovely woman, just so nice and kind. And she talked to us for about 15 minutes, laughing. Her husband's very attractive, and I thought, oh my God, this woman is just. A lot of people overuse that blessed thing. I'm so blessed. I'm blessed, and my husband.
Yeah.
With that, because it's like, well, okay, you're blessed. What about the rest of us? Aren't we blessed? Just because we don't go around saying,
what's that got to say?
what the hell are we? If you're blessed, aren't we blessed? So we just.
I know, we're no less.
Doesn't that annoy it's just overuse, right? But I said to her last night, I found myself saying to her, oh my God, this woman walked into an audition, because I asked her how she got the part of Bart Simpson. It was just a random audition. And it's not like,
oh, really?
Yeah, just a random audition. So she walks in, she books the part, and this is the only person that I know that has had nonstop work as an actor for over 20 years. I mean, I don't know any soap opera people. I know some soap operas have gone on for 20, 30 years. But this is the only person I thought, if anybody's blessed, this woman can say on Facebook, I'm blessed, but that's about it. That's about it. Yeah. The entertainment industry, you can be riding on high one day, and the next day you're in the unemployment line. So, but
I know. Well, I don't know if you got my message, but I actually just started up another production company. Because, as you know, with Mandar Entertainment, that was my dad and I, and that's the first that everybody's like, how'd you come up with Mandar? You know, well, my dad's first name is Darryl, so D-A-R, and my first three initials. So we took our first three initials. That's where Nandar came from. But during the filming of Finding Mr. Right, I actually lost my dad, and he passed away when we were making that film. And so basically, you know,
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so it was rough. We, took a break, but I had to pick it up, and we dedicated the film to him. And so basically, and the film's doing real good. It got really good raves, and so I want to just dedicate and leave the company at that point. But it's just coming back because I'm also saying, okay, I want to branch off with a new production company. And so we're trying to think of names. Well, the name I came up with, and then the logo we've just been working on, but if you go to stonecoldpictures.com, that's the new production company that will actually be launching like Crimson Creek and some of our new films under. But the reason I came up is that's how the industry makes you.
Now, let me write that down. Sweetie, let me write that down. What is it called? Stone
Cold Pictures. Stone Cold Pictures.
Is that the website? Is that the website?
Yeah, that's the website. We just literally, I just started putting it up, so it's kind of under construction.
Okay, got it.
But you'll follow along with the films that we're doing along there. But yeah, and there's like, where'd you come up with that name? I'm like, because that's what this business makes you, or the people are that you meet. Is kind of ironic to the thing because it's like everybody's so stone cold in this business.
Right.
So the business name kind of came from that area. It's just like, good God, it's like you got to have a tough skin in this business, unfortunately, and it's not for those, it's like you just follow your dreams and stick with them, and it's like, I'm fortunate, like I was telling you a few minutes ago, like right now I'm having a huge barbecue at my house. I just bought a new places. I've got a 14-stall barn. I have my horses here, and we're actually going to be making a movie here at my place later in the year. Our distributor asked us for a new comedy, so we're doing this Dude Ranch film one. So I'm going to have fun with that one because I get to incorporate everything I'm doing, from my horses, because I'll actually be acting in that one too. So I'm actually stepping out from behind the camera to in front of the camera too on that one. And it's going to be a blast.
Well, it's about time. We haven't seen enough Nancy Criss in our life.
I haven't. I've been hiding behind the camera for a while, so I guess it's time to step out a little bit. But
Well, you got to definitely keep us abreast about that. Now, with you, how many acres is it that you have?
It's 3.5 acres, and basically I'm just putting in a new arena. And for horse people out there that might be listening, I have a new round pen in for training and a couple paddocks and a 14-stall barn, and pretty much the barn's full now. If I walked outside, you guys would hear all the horses yinning, but I've got a bunch of people outside right now because we're having a big barbecue, so I'm hiding in the house right now.
That is so great because you could actually, I assume you're going to do this, but have your own production company there and also set up like a little production studio where you could shoot things, get a green screen in there, and you could shoot so many things, save a fortune.
Well, yeah, and that's why I wanted. He was thinking, the distributor wanted us to do a couple more films. We're actually doing 2 films that the distributor asked us for. One I can't tell you about right now because it's kind of a hush-hush project. But between you and I, Priscilla, because, you've been so great, and I love just talking to you, I will give you the exclusive release when we get ready to release that film. So you will hear it first, all your listeners. But I'm not allowed to talk about it right now.
Okay, I accept.
Yeah, so it's going to be great, yeah, because we'll, actually get to shoot everything here. And I also do a youth bull riding association for little kids from like 3-year-olds to 19 that we put on, host, and sponsor. And so we're going to actually be bringing the arena from my store and bringing it over here, and we'll have like bull riding and all that. So it's going to be a really funny comedy film. So.
Oh, I love it. You can do, there's so much that you can do on your new property. You could do just about any type of film you want, except a cityscape, I would imagine. But you can
yeah. Well, that's why I throw my green screen up. I have a huge green screen. Actually, I just filmed here Friday, and we put the white stage up.
Oh.
So, but yeah. So
now,
nice,
the last time we talked to you, Nancy, you were about to start working on that thriller, Crimson Creek. Now, what happened with that?
Yeah, we're still developing it because it has a creature on it, and I've been speaking to a friend of mine, Harvey Lowry, who, if you look him up, he's been nominated for several Academy Awards, and his team, they worked like on all the big pictures, Pirates, and all that. I talked to Harvey just a couple weeks ago, and I sent him over the script because our creature is the main thing. This is kind of a sci-fi film, so I'm very excited that Harvey's willing to help us out for our film, so it's nice to have somebody on his level that's, had several Academy nominations and won several Emmys. Will be, hopefully coming aboard to help us with the creature and the film. So we've been working on that. But the comedy, the distributor, there are 3 creatures basically, but they now want us to put the comedy in front of Crimson Creek. And Crimson Creek takes more development, so we're going to be shooting the comedy later this year. And we probably won't shoot Crimson Creek until the beginning of next year. It's just because I have so much development in it.
Right.
And then, so I'm going to try to get these other 2 features. We have 3 features on the slate, and then actually we are going to do a couple of short films too. One's called Aerobia and one's called Spring. And we're getting a little aggressive with that one. Aerobia is one that I think will do well, that I'm hoping that's a topic that the Academy Awards will like. And so we're going to shoot hard. So hopefully all your listeners will help support it when it comes out. Try to get Academy nomination for that. So I'm going for the gusto on that one.
Ooh, well, you gotta make sure that you let us know so we can do an advertisement at least and
oh yeah, so we're raising the bar. We're raising the bar. So
yeah, well, my husband and I we started a production company this year, and we're only going to focus on short films and music videos. And I love, honestly, not only budget wise, it works for me to do shorts, but I actually really like shorts. I honestly do. Like, there was this one, I don't know if you ever saw it, but I'm obsessed with shorts. It's called Bitch by this guy named Dom Bridges from England. It is the best short film I have ever seen, and I am sick over the fact that it did not get the recognition that it deserved. But if you go to YouTube and you type in Bitch by Dom Bridges, it is brilliant. It is so funny. And this guy, are you ready for this? He did this whole short film for 247 pounds. Now, I don't know how much that is in dollars, but I imagine it's double at the conversion rate. So like $400, $500. And when you see this, it is so good. And you think, why is it that I am trying to do, because right now I'm working on trying to do 2 short films and 2 music videos, and I can't find anybody to do my films for free. Everybody wants a fortune. So my question to you is, Nancy, how do you effectively, if you're a filmmaker, or you want to be a filmmaker, how do you get a good film made for I'm going to say cheap or inexpensive or on a really low budget, but not to look like it's an El Cheapo film. How do you do that?
Yeah, well, fortunately for us, I own our own production gear, so it's easier for me at that point. But you got to get to that point. But there's so many. I mean, we used to raise the financing for Finding Mr. Right, and what we're doing for this new film that we're going to be doing is there's downfalls and upsides to the internet and social networking and everything going on right now. But there's a couple great sites out there. We actually used Indiegogo.com to raise money for Finding Mr. Right, and it worked very well. I think we raised $10-12 grand just off that site through donations and pre-sales of the DVDs. You can get creative out there, and it's just, I think you and I talked about this last time. That irritates me about these people in this business, because I'm still about, when you're working your way up in this business, if you love it, there is nothing wrong. It is not degrading to do a job for free. You're doing something that you love. You're helping a dream come true. You're making a movie. That's what we all want to do. And you never know who you're going to meet on that set. That knows somebody that leads, because this business is really about networking and who you know. And I've been fortunate enough that by doing that and doing a lot of projects, now I work with a lot of Academy Award-winning and Emmy-nominated people that have become really good friends that help me out on projects and stuff. But it's just like, you get creative, you get people that are passionate, and it may take you a little bit to put your crew together, but now, I have a really good crew. I've been using them for a long time, and we're getting ready to do this new comedy, but we have to really keep the budget down. So I went to my crew, and I said, look, this is what we've got for budget. This is, I will bring you crew in on the back end because we already have distribution for what we're doing for this. It for sure will make money. And everybody's willing, hey, man, we don't mind. We'll help you out with the project. But it's like, you develop those relationships, but there's a lot of creative ways out there now that you can make money to go make a good film. And it's just like, don't cheat your shot and don't, give up what you really want. And there's and the thing with HD now and how cheap cameras are and stuff, you can get a really good looking picture for not a lot of money. You just got to be creative and smart and stick to your budget, because I don't know how many times I've been on a project and I go and I say, okay, this is what I have for this department. And they always come back and say, no, we need this. And I'm like, well, we don't. That's why you have a budget. If I say you got $3,000 for your department, you can't come back to me and say you need $4,000.
Right.
It doesn't work that way, And I've always made it work. I've always been able to bring a picture in on time, but you just gotta, stand firm, get creative, and stick to getting the shots that you want. Because, the one great thing about the technology today, you can make a really good looking picture for a little amount of money.
Yeah, with the right crew. I mean, it's hard.
With the right crew.
I've always had a problem with, I guess I feel guilty because I want to pay everybody. I can't ask people to do things for free, and I have a real problem with that. Like, I want everybody to get paid because gas is so expensive.
Right.
Things are so expensive. I can't ask an actor to just use money out of their own pocket because they're struggling actors and crew and everybody actually that's involved. I can't ask them to work for free. I've had that problem. So that is going to be my biggest problem is trying to get actors to do the copy credit meal. And one of the problems that
and I don't do that. I do pay. I pay my cast, non-union or not. Yeah. I always pay them at least a minimum of $100 a day.
Exactly.
Because everybody has gas or living expenses. But if your normal day rate, say, is $350, I try to at least make it fair and say, look, this is what we got at the low budget, but we can at least everybody gets the same across the board as $100 flat per day. Either you can help with the film or you can't help. Or like in this case, or the other one we're doing, even if, normally their day rate, like, if the DP's getting $350 or more a day using our equipment or whatever, I'm like, look, I can give you $100 a day right now. I will defer it. The thing is, and everybody hates that word defer, but one thing, I stick to that. Like Finding Mr. Right. As a production company, I have a lot of my own money in that film, but the one thing I did, the moment that first dollar came in, instead of me recouping my costs, I put myself in with everybody else, and the first money I got on that film started going out to all the investors, no matter how small, only because I want to be able to go back to them, and it's crucial to take care of the people that stood behind you and put their hard-earned cash on the table to help you make your dreams come true.
I agree, and I really appreciate your viewpoint on that, because I was recently working with someone on a film project, and I was executive producer, and that person was like, well, if you want to pay everyone, then don't expect to get a quality project, because you really need to put the money where it counts, which is paying your DP and paying for the crew. And the actors are used to, doing it for free. And I don't agree with that. I really can't do it. I just can't. Yeah. I cannot do that. I have to pay them. But I see that person's point too, because if you there was a lot of people that were involved in this project. So if you pay every actor $100, then you're going to end up paying like $1,200, because they're right. So it's a real dilemma with filmmakers, because I've talked to other people that also say, God, I want to pay the actors too, but if I have $3,000 and $1,200 goes to cast, then I'm going to be missing out on getting a really good DP. So it's really hard to find. What do you feel you should focus if you have $3,000 budget or $5,000? What do you feel you really need to focus your money on, that you absolutely need to say, well, this is what most of the money goes on, and then if I have money over, I put it on this?
It is. It's pretty much like you're saying. It's your key positions. Those are your most crucial, like your DP, your key gaffer for lighting and everything else. You got to have your key people. At least 3 or 4 of your key people, especially your DP, because I've had a film before where he was just there for a paycheck.
Right.
You could sell it in the film, and that's very irritating. So obviously, my number one is DP.
Right.
You make a break, and then sound is my second.
Sound.
Because without, sound's 50% of your picture. But, it's just like, to me, you can raise it and make it work. If you tighten your shooting days, there was, like Finding Mr. Right, we were down to our last 2 days, and we still had 30 pages to shoot. Woo. But we were able to knock them out. We shot 15 pages a day, which is just about unheard of.
Oh, my gosh.
We did a 2-3 camera, we did a 3-camera shoot. So I could get the medium close-up and a wide shot and, just do 2 takes and not lose anything that I wanted as a director. But it's hard because, I understand not wanting working for free, and then I'm like you. I feel too guilty. I want to pay everybody. I don't, because I feel the actors, too, will put more into it, because even if it's a little bit, they can go and say, I got paid for that job.
That's right.
They will put more into it.
That's
so,
right.
I'm sorry, but your actors are just as important as your crew is, because, it takes everybody to make a great picture.
It really does.
That's like, if I'm paying my crew $100, I'm paying my actors $100. I try to spread it across the board so that, everybody feels equal. Exactly. Everybody's contributing equal on the picture.
I love that.
And the point is, if you put out these, little pictures, and then your next picture, you'll have a little bit more. But, the sad thing I'm seeing this day and age is, before, you could make a small indie picture. As long as you kept your budget under $250,000, you'd make money on it. Now, if your budget's not under $50,000, you're lucky on a small indie film that you're going to make money. It's
That's
just
right.
because this industry has changed so radical. It's crazy, and it's like,
What have you seen? What are the biggest changes you've seen that has made this so hard for people to get things done?
I guess the whole distribution avenue of it has just changed. So now, we're trying to figure out as a small indie company, I worked on pictures from, probably my smallest budget was like about $30,000 for a feature, then on up to millions of dollars on features, But it's just, the industry has changed so much, and it's like, you used to have your black hole. Don't make a picture between $2 to $5 million, or you wouldn't make money. So you had to be over that, or it had to be $6 million and above, or you would just lose money. Now it's just like so changed, and I think, because the internet and a lot of people can distribute their own films, and you have so many horror stories about distributors and taking your money and you never see. So to me, we've looked at, I have a relationship with a really good distribution company. They work hand in hand. We sit down, we say, okay, what kind of film you want next? Where's our budget need to be? Cash? Who do you want to see in it? And we take that avenue. We're lucky. One of the few things that you don't get this day and age is pre-sales. We were able to get pre-sales from the territories for Finding Mr. Right. So, that helped. That brought in some of our budget. So it's really hard. It's like it's changing daily. That's like we're watching Crimson Creek because it is a sci-fi picture, and the way things are rotating, we're like, should we wait a little bit, maybe do this picture first, and then give us more money to do that picture and watch the market and, what pictures are hitting right now and stuff. The good thing with Crimson Creek, though, being a sci-fi picture, it has its own built-in audience, and that's one of the things that we try to do is find, genres that have kind of a built-in audience, so at least you're guaranteed to try to get your budget back. Because the last thing I want is for my investors to be burned.
Right.
So, that's why it was important that first time when we got money back, even though 70% of the money in that film was my own personal money, I wanted those people that stepped aboard to get a paycheck from day one. And when we released that film in September, they got their first money in December. Every quarter I send them a check. So, we've been fortunate with that film, but, it really is getting harder and harder for the independent. But you see the studios getting away now. They're just buying more pictures than what they are making them because of the cost. But it's crazy, and it's almost like right now we're in this period where you just got to kind of sit back and watch. Because we don't know exactly where the distribution avenue is going and where to have your budget to be safe so that you're not losing money on these pictures. Because, we all want to make a great picture, but at the end of the day, you're still going to make money.
That's right. That's right. Now, what for people that are because you're obviously you're on the an upper echelon level than people who are just starting out. So what is the most that a person can do? Say, let's talk short film. What's the most that a person can expect to do if they make their short film? Say they spend $5,000 on their short film. They collected money from their family, friends, whoever wanted to give them money. What is the most that they can expect to achieve with the short film? Because I know that short films are very limited in what you make back. Like, you can't distribute them. I do not believe that. So what's the most that you can do?
Well, the one good thing, though, is now with all the different avenues, like even with Amazon, you can do video on demand. So you can make money on your short films. Oh. Where I think before you really couldn't, because, like, we did the little short film stuff for the child, and I have, like, video on demand, and, we get downloads of it. I've sold DVDs of it. And another thing you can do is There's some people that still put out short DVDs where they'll go to the festivals, watch for shorts, and compile a whole DVD of some really good, whether they're comedy shorts or horror shorts, and then you all can, distribute in the profits of that. So you can box them that way, but with downloads right now and just building, you got all these great social networks out there right now that helps build your film, spread it, and do video demand, and we're doing that on our little short. But the main thing I think with shorts, like we're doing this one called AIRDATE, and it's basically, that one I'm just doing to try to do really good into the festivals, to win some more awards for our production company and so forth. So the aspect to try to make money on it is just try to really good recognition, because, I've had other friends of mine and even higher up that are big names in the business that have gone on and done shorts and web series and then have been called in by Universal Studios or Warner Brothers to see what they have next, and have gotten deals off of their short films. So to me, short films are like a great calling card, whether you're a producer, director, or even actor. If you can get involved in a good short film and it gets recognition out there in festivals and it starts circulating and people can see it, it just leads, to me, can lead to bigger and better things. So...
Well, Nancy, I tell you, I have to apologize because you a portion of your advice was cut off because I don't know, something happened. Yeah. So the last thing we heard was, what you can do with the short film is just about. No, I know, and a lot of it was lost, and we can't go back and repeat Genius because Genius has said
sorry.
like Genius is lost, it's been lost. But maybe you could sum it up. You said.
Oh, yeah, well, basically, I'm just saying that, you can make money off of short films. We've done it on video demand, DVDs, sales with ours. Amazon's good video on demand. There's a lot of different little social networks out there where you can get involved in and make money, and whether you make a Facebook page for it or so forth, but just spread the word about your film. Like I was saying, our short film, I'm doing it more for the recognition to win some more awards for our production company because, I've known some good friends of mine that are high up, big-time directors and so forth. Other people that I've known that's also gone on and done shorts, the great thing about it is I've known several people that have got called in by Universal Studios or Warner Brothers because they heard of it. And they want to see what else you're capable of doing. So one thing it can do, it can also open doors to the big studios for you.
Right.
So, it's not always monetary as what doors it can open in Hollywood, depending on how serious of a filmmaker that you are,
Mm-hmm.
But it's just mainly, getting the recognition out there and, putting pride, no matter whether it's a short, feature, or whatever. The very first film I ever did was True Legends of the West. Sat at McDonald's with my dad. I said, I want to do a feature film. He's like, what? I said, I want to go make a movie. I've been in them. I want to produce. And off of that Western comedy, I got an email from a gentleman at Universal Studios calling me in about developing it into a TV series.
What?
Out of my very first feature film.
Wow.
So it's like you never know. And there's an example of a small indie film. Our budget at that time, $75,000. We did a Western period piece for $75,000. So it's just, and you never know what you do and what kind of doors it was open. But it's just, I'm big about following your dreams, be happy, live life to its fullest.
That's
If
right.
you want to be in the entertainment business, be an actor, don't let anybody beat you down. It's so hard because family and friends are like, what? You want to be an actor? You want to be a producer, director? What? That's crazy. But it's just like, follow what's in your heart. If that's what you want to do, go out and do it. Nobody's going to just open that door for you and say, here you go, here's a film, go be an actor, director, or whatever.
That's
open
right.
your own doors, get up off your butt, Make your dreams happen.
Right. Well, where there's a will, there's a way. So
that's right.
That's what I always say.
I mean, look at you. You know, since you and I talked, you started your own production company. You're out doing short films. You know, you got your radio show. You got your production company. You're doing the same thing.
That's right.
So hats off to you.
Well, I was a plus size model, and I was just I get emails from there's a wonderful, talented, world famous, I guess, kind of photographer. His name is Wayne Schoenfeld, and then there's another one named Gerard Ranison. And I'm not into the world, or I wasn't involved in the world of art and photography, so I didn't really know their names. All I know is that my agent called me and said, I have a photo shoot for you to do for these two gentlemen. So I did them years ago. All of a sudden now I get these emails that my exhibit, the exhibit that I was in, is now being shown. I get invitations to come to the exhibit in Milan and in Germany and in Russia and in London. And and then I find out that there's a picture of me, a 50-foot by 50-foot picture hanging in the museum in Paris. And my friend goes and calls me up. She's like, oh my God, I went to the museum on a date and you were on this wall. And I had no idea. And I got paid a small fee to do it, not much, like $500 for the day. And now, years later, I'm still going strong all over the world. And I'm like, well, so it just goes and I feel proud of that work. I feel proud that I was in those two exhibits. And I'm also in, and then I was getting my headshots, Nancy, and my husband's sitting in the little lobby while I'm waiting to get my headshots. And he says, Priscilla, did you know that you were in this coffee book? I'm like, what? What the hell? So I find out the pictures that the photographer went on to make a book, and all of the pictures are in the coffee book, and then there's calendars. So you never know. I got paid one rate, and I am still being distributed all over the world, and I feel proud about that. I'm not thinking, oh my God.
Awesome.
Some people are like, oh, I didn't get a cut, and oh, I didn't get a royalty fee and all of that, but that's not how I think. I feel proud that I actually was part of something, and it's still going strong, and this was like 2005.
See, but you did it. There's the difference. That's a person that's in this business for the money. There's people that's in it for money and fame, not for the love of the craft. And those are the people, the longevity ones that are in it for the love of the craft and not for just the dollar and to be famous. You know what I mean?
If you're in it for money and fame, well, you should be in it. I think personally for the art of it. You should do it because you love it, because it gets you excited, because your heart beats. You feel like a little schoolgirl.
Yeah, I mean, look at you can get royalties, but look how excited you are talking to me about that picture still hanging there.
I know.
You know, that it's the passion. I have two passions in my life, and that's my horses out there in the barn and making movies. And I'm not going to say I'm blessed, Priscilla.
Don't say
I'm lucky enough to create my own fortune, to be able to go out and do that and make a living at it and, be able to follow my dreams. But nobody gave it to me.
That's right.
I went out and had, earned it, worked for it, and I didn't give up.
Yeah.
I was started in this acting when I was like, 11, 12, 13, whatever I was on Petrocelli. And, still here. I'm not going to say how old I am, but I'm still here.
We'll say you're 39.
That's right.
Never
take 1 year.
Well, we got it. I don't think it's a secret to some, but I think it's a secret to people that are out there who go on auditions or out there trying, and then they get constant rejection and they take it personally, and they're not understanding that you have to do it because you love it. Expect nothing, and you're going to get more than you could ever expect. Is what I.
And it's so hard. I've been on that side of having to go and do auditions and all that, and it's so hard not to take it personal. But, coming from the producer and director side, and, I sit in on a lot of my own casting of who I want, a lot of it is look and personality comes across. For my Western, I had a big name actor that wanted to do one of the roles, and was really upset because I wouldn't give him the role. I went with a no-name person, just because he happened to have the look that I really wanted. And it's not about you personally or that you're not a good actor or this or that. It's just we have this vision in our head. So obviously, 100 people that come in to audition, you got to go with the one that you feel is right. It's not any attack against you personally. It's just, the right audition, fitting the right part, going in knowing your part, and going in with confidence.
That's right. That's what you have to do. Nancy, guess what? Oh,
it's that time.
It's 5:50 and we got to go, and I'm so sad. I'm going to have withdrawal symptoms from you.
Will you call me afterwards? You guys tell me what's going on with your short films and stuff. Keep me up to date.
I will, and you keep me up to date. And listen, if you want to check out Nancy's website, it is stonecoldpictures.com. Nancy, I'm going to ask you to come back next year.
I will be there,
Okay. All right.
I promised you that secret film. I'll release it first with you.
Okay, that's right. So you make sure that you call me, and I'll reschedule somebody to get you on. You are first priority.
Oh, you're sweetheart.
All right, sweetie. Now you got to promise to name one of your foals after me. Now there's got to be a little foal named Priscilla. So
there you go. I will do that. I am. I'm going to put your name up in my barn.
Thank you, my darling. Well,
all right, sweetie. Thanks for having me on.
That was Nancy Criss. Say goodbye to your fans, Nancy Criss.
Bye, everybody, and stay in touch. We'll see you on the big screen.
Bye.
Bye, sweetie.
You're listening to Question Reality. Question Reality with Priscilla Leona. Only on LA Talk Radio.